Mars black, chrome on the fence. Cruise handling double the body 2 tenths. Lip gloss shine, gold chain swing. She dance one time. Whole room lean with a Rican grin, that kind of heat. Her step got the whole floor moving with me. Sneak the scuff, but the vibe stay clean. We don't talk much, let the baseline breathe. Sour, sour, all night long. Move that way, make the whole place warm. Sour, sour, all night long. She sent me a more, then she gone off strong. Sour, sour, all night long. One more spin and the night's too long. Sour, sour, all night long. We don't need sleep when the bass is strong. Hey, hey, she got that sway, that midnight lean. From the avenue to the dance machine. Caught in the crowd, but she stand out claro. Sweet like mango, sharp like sparrow. I step in close, she raised that brow. One hand on the waist, one hand up now. Fiesta messy, but the fit stay fresh. And white grip with the island flex. Sour, sour, all night long. Move that waist, make the whole place warm. Sour, sour, all night long. She sent me a more, then she gone off strong. Sour, sour, all night long. One more spin and the night's too long. Sour, sour, all night long. We don't need sleep when the bass is strong. Gone, 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 gone. Baila, baila, don't let go. Shorty got the room and us all hell off. Baila, baila, let it roll. All into the island, we don't stop. Sour, sour, all night long. Move that waist, make the whole place warm. Sour, sour, all night long. She sent me a more, and she gone off strong. Sour, sour, all night long. One more spin and the night's too long. Sour, sour, all night long. We don't need sleep when the bass is strong.
What is going on? What is going on, people? Today is April 19th, 2026. Let's do this. Watching on the TV, I'll be honest, yes, there's a vibe that just cannot be explained when it comes to going to concerts. 1000%. But you saw them crowds? Did y'all see them crowds? Crazy, crazy work. So today, we're going to talk about who he brought out. As you can see, Big Sean, talking about he's been taken advantage of. If you're new here, my name is Jazz. This is Jazz TV. And I hope you're doing fantastic today. Many, many blessings. And we're going to talk about Bieber. Justavius Bieber. Jontavius Justavius Bieber White Chocolate. For all we know, that man could have been in another life. That R&B. Listen, I have always liked Justin Bieber when he did R&B. Honestly, that album that he put out, it's escaping me. I can't remember the name of the album. Let me look it up for y'all real quick. Justin Bieber R&B album. It has like Confident, Heartbreaker, Justin Bieber R&B album. Journals. Yeah, 2013. I was a senior in high school. I know, I'm dating myself. I am dating myself. I was a senior in high school. And when he put out that album, I was like, oh, I like Justin Bieber singing R&B. Don't get me wrong. As you'll see with some of the photos that we're going to get into as we go through this video, when Justin Bieber started singing the throwbacks, the whole crowd was going crazy. So there's no denying Justin Bieber in his pop star era. That is massive. You know, it made him. And I think that when Big Sean was talking about being taken advantage of, I believe that a lot of that happened during that time period. As to what advantages he might be speaking on, I can't talk on that because I wasn't personally there. But as somebody who works in entertainment, I can tell you that children, it's difficult for children to be in that world because it is an adult world. It's hard for adults to be in that world. And children, it's difficult because when you get so big like a Justin Bieber at such a young age, you're no longer just doing it for you. You have hundreds of staff and people who rely on that little boy. Whereas if you watch the stream, he talks about he was just a kid that loved to sing. And Mr. Scooter Braun found him on YouTube, brought him to Atlanta, brought him to Usher, and then there he went. And it was no longer about being with the guitar, singing songs, playing the drums, giving that R&B soul. It was no longer about that. And he became a pop star and he started dancing. And so we're going to talk a lot more about other things, right? I know some people, there's been some controversy regarding his set and how it was just him up there, the laptop, and singing. First of all, his voice is so good, he doesn't need all of the extra. Hold on, devil's advocate. I know people were talking about Sabrina Carpenter. Amazing voice. She did amazing. She had sets galore. Real movie production value. And I know there was controversy regarding people speaking on who got paid more and was it fair. I think that you guys have to remember, Justin Bieber has been a musician since he was a kid. Now, Sabrina Carpenter has been on Disney and she was acting, right? The music has started to take off a little bit later in life. But if you want to just talk about just purely being in the game longer, that's obviously Justin Bieber, right? Like, there's no doubt about that. And so I think, again, that's just how I feel. You guys gotta let me know in the comments how you feel about the payment between the both of them and was it fair? I think that, and I don't know anybody else, right? Previous performers, I'm not sure how much they got paid. I only recently heard about this because they decided to make it news. But again, I just think that purely based off who Justin Bieber is, what he's done, how long he's been doing it as a musician, like, you know, it's fair. And he did a fantastic job. Okay. I had to take out my headphones because it was so loud. Let me see. Okay. That's better. Hopefully it's not an echo. So, let's move on right into. Let's talk about, did you hear Justin Bieber broke records for Skylark? I have to take this off. For Skylark. I believe I said that right. We're going to go into it right now, into the article. Let's see. Yes, okay. Justin Bieber, Skylark brand, breaks Coachella record with 5 million in merch sales. Damn, didn't we just... Damn. I just said that based off what I believe I heard, do not quote me, Sabrina Carpenter got paid 5 million to perform at Coachella. And Justin Bieber got paid 10 million to perform at Coachella. Homie made another 5 million in merch sales. While I was watching the playback, the replay, because again, I told y'all, my alarm clock, it rang, and I looked at it and I said, am I really gonna get up to watch Justin Bieber? I was tired as hell. And that's no offense to Justin. I was just really tired. So I said, I'll catch it on the next one. And luckily, I was able to, in the morning, hit rewind. Okay? Now, here it is. Bieber brand sold swag-themed merch at the artist tent and the on-site Skylark shop. Okay, look at that. Is it not clocking to you? Standing on business. Is it not clocking to you? At that time, everybody was talking about clocking. And now I feel like I don't hear anybody talking about clocking no more. It's like that situation happened with Justin. Ain't nobody talking about, is it clocking? That's crazy. I wonder how much that shirt cost. Because that's just a plain shirt with his face on it and standing on business. And no offense, get it how you get it. But damn, 5 million? Oh my God. All right, so it says, Justin Bieber's fashion and lifestyle brand Skylark broke the record for Coachella merch sales in the artist's first week as headliner. As reported by Vogue Business, while the pop musician performed the Indio, California festival last Saturday, April 11th, Skylark sold 5.4 million in merch. It was more than double the festival's original record of 1.7 million across 2 weekends. Oh wow, I have not read this yet. I like to keep my reactions fresh and authentic, so I don't read beforehand. I just set it up and I don't read. Wow. Double. It's more than double than the original record. It's Bieber. Justavius Bieber. Jontavius Bieber. It's Bieber. It says Bieber is already the highest paid entertainer in Coachella history. Receiving roughly 10 million for the booking. Wow. I like Justin Bieber, so I ain't even mad at it. Additionally, his swag-themed merch was available in 2 on-site locations, the Skylark shop adjacent to the Skylark Oasis and in the artist's merch tent. All right, it says among items that fans with Bieber fever copped were $140 lime green sweatshirts and emblazoned with because $140 for lime green sweatshirts emblazoned with the pop vocalist's famous "it's not clocking" phrase. Well, I wouldn't say it's his phrase. I wouldn't say it's his phrase. Did he use it? Yes. I wouldn't say it's his. Whoever wrote that, you should have just said when he said that. Anyway, it says a $90 USD tank of Bieber. I don't know. No offense to whoever wrote this. Who wrote this? Jaylani. No offense, whoever that is, but I would have phrased things a little differently. Anyway, a $90 USD tank of Bieber flipping the bird and a t-shirt reading Justin Bieber Live above a graphic of his wife Hailey Bieber. So $90 for a t-shirt with Justin Bieber flipping the bird. and $140 for a lime green sweatshirt, aka, oh, that's not the sweatshirt, that's the shirt. But I guess it looks similar like this, right? I think it looks like that color, and it says it's not clocking, and I guess it's that. Let's see if it's on here. We're not going to click the video because I don't know if it'll play. So it says Bieber launched Skylark in 2025 alongside fashion designer Nima, if I pronounce your name wrong, apologies, Kalia, who co-founded the Los Angeles brand Pink Dolphin. Never heard of it. I'm not from LA, so that makes sense. Ahead of the festival, Skylark unveiled multiple pieces tied to Bieber's headlining set, including his twist on Hailey Bieber's Road lip case in 4 colorways. Clearly, I'm not the demographic for makeup, so I don't even know what that one looks like. Swag. Okay, it says Bieber's first headlining Coachella set was a mix of his biggest hits along. Well, this is his first time he's ever headlined Coachella, but I have seen him. I've seen him on the stage before, but I guess he just was like a guest or something for somebody else. Says Bieber's first headlining Coachella set was a mix of his biggest hits along with the earlier YouTube material that made him a star. As the singer queued up classic videos on the platform while we're going to talk about that. Okay. Says for those wanting to keep cool during Bieber's second Coachella performance on Saturday, this is what we'll be talking about. The Shark Heat chill pill and whatever. That already happened. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about and bring an actual article on here to discuss how Justin Bieber is making the bag. Based off this, Justin Bieber made $15 million in 2 weeks. Or maybe I should say in 1 week. No, 2 weeks, because that $10 million was for both performances, and then the merch, $5 million. So, for Coachella, Bieberchella, that's why we have Bieberchella, because homie made 15 mil. Doing what he loves. That's amazing. That's amazing that somebody can do that, right? And I believe, well, let me hold this thought, okay? Let's talk about the performances, who he brought up, my thoughts. Okay, here we go. Here it is. So I have a bunch of photos. This is Justin Bieber when he is singing the portion of his set of his newest songs, right, off his last album. And I think that the one thing I really got from Justin Bieber, this dude loves his wife. I don't understand, as he should. I don't understand why everybody wants to talk about him and his wife and he don't really love her and listen, I'm not in their bedroom, I'm not in their home, so I can't even speak on that. But from what I saw, I feel like all of the songs he's singing about is about his relationship or his family or his faith, and then he shouts her out from the crowd. And he just seems like he loves her. And so I don't understand why people be making drama talking about Selena Gomez. Like, she done got married to Benny Blanco. And yet people still want to say things regarding his family and his wife. And it don't make no sense to me. That's what I got from this portion of Justin Bieber's set. He loves his mother wife. And that is fantastic. Also, faith. And I like this a lot. Mentioning the Most High. First and foremost, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Without the Most High, I'm nothing, I'm nobody. I'm alive today because of the Most High. I was in a car accident when I was 19, flipped over on the other side of the highway. Trapped I had to break myself out of there because I screamed and nobody came for me. It was in the middle of the morning or like the AM, and God was protecting me. Truly believe that. And so many other times in my life, whenever I was afraid or whenever I needed strength, and the Most High has never turned the back on me. Never. And so I like that he mentions his faith and the Most High. I thought that was dope. I really, really, really did. So that's what I got from these first sets. That the crowd was rocking with him. He loves his life. He loves his wife. And here, let's talk about this, right? Remember I said I was going to hold off a thought? There have been so many people who have been talking doo-doo about his set, and he was just on the laptop and he didn't really do. Again, I don't think Justin Bieber ever wanted to be a pop star. I really don't. I think that he loved to sing, which is what he said, and one thing led to another. But him, dancing around and doing the choreography, I just don't think that's something that was innately in his heart to do. But the system, that's what happens. They want to turn you into a pop star, the biggest you can be, and we got to get the choreography. And don't forget, his mentor, Usher, he's that kind of star where he has his songs and he's dancing hardcore. I don't think that was ever something Justin Bieber really wanted to do, but it was just like thrusted upon his life. And so in his rebrand, which is what he's been doing, in my opinion, over the last couple of years, especially with the streaming, it makes sense now. When he started streaming, showing making beats, how he was dressed, I think it was all in preparation for Coachella, because obviously Justin Bieber knew he was doing Coachella probably a year in advance. I don't even know. And so he's been preparing for that for a long time. How do you prepare? He's been out of the public for a while with his baby and his wife. You slowly start to reintroduce yourself back to the public. And I think it was all calculated to show, this is who I want to be. This is who I am. I know you guys love that version of Justin Bieber, but that's not me. I can respect it. I can enjoy it. And I love what that has done for my life. This is what I think Justin Bieber, I don't know, but this is what I think Justin Bieber is thinking. But this is me. I love making this particular kind of music. And I don't want to be an artist that's pop, lock, and drop it every 5 seconds or doing a dance break. And so I think that this set was a reintroduction to Justin Bieber, but also a celebration of how he got there. And the fact that that Justin Bieber, I think that Justin Bieber, let's get into that. Hold on. Let me pull up the clips. Not the clips, but the photos. Give me 1 second. There we go. Let's pull into here. So these photos are during the set portion when Justin Bieber was... My mom said karaoke. That was funny. She's like, I heard that people were complaining because he was doing karaoke. I'm like, Ma. And so when he was doing this set and he was harmonizing with his younger self, I felt like he was like, look at that smile. Hold on. Go back. There we go. Look at that smile right there. And look at Big Sean on the back. Look at that smile right there. That's genuine. And this is during the throwback portion. And so I think that it was really healing for Justin Bieber to do this. Really cathartic. And it's kind of like, goodbye. I love you. We did this. Let me celebrate you with everybody, with the world. And Let me reintroduce myself. That's how I felt. That is literally how I felt when I watched that. And don't get me wrong. Oh, hold on. We moved on. Hold up. That's the next portion. I think that... Hold on. There we go. I can't hit stop. I have to hit pause. I think that the crowd was the loudest during this portion. I'll be 100% honest with y'all. The crowd was the loudest during this portion. Even me. I was out here working on some bread while I was listening to Justin Bieber. And he started singing them songs. Let me tell you one time. I'm gonna tell you what. Me plus you. What? I felt like back in high school. The first time I ever heard Justin Bieber, I was on the bus. And it was the one time it was playing. I had never heard it. But like the girlies on the bus who already had started to listen to Justin Bieber, they were singing it all over the place. And it was, one time, I'm going to tell you what. I was like, who is this? And then the baby. What? That's a mega smash. And then he starts singing the rest of them. And I'm like, yo, I know all the words. You smile, I smile. Da, 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 da. I'm like, damn. I knew I liked Justin Bieber, but I'm a fan. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that I'm a fan like that. Or maybe I'm not a fan like that. But that version of Justin Bieber and the success that he had was and is still so massive that everybody named Mama just naturally starts singing the words. That's how I felt. Like, I didn't even think I would. And then he starts playing different things. And slowly but surely, I start singing like everybody else in the crowd. These people was going bonkers. They were going, look at that. I don't even know who that is. Look, he's smiling. I don't even know who that is. Smiling. And I think that he was doing some inner child healing on another level. And I think that's dope. I think that's dope, honestly. Right? If his vocals weren't so good, I could see... texted me. If his vocals weren't so good, I could see how somebody could complain. But, come on. No auto-tune. No backtracks. Sexy Red came in and she had a backtrack in. She was the only one. We're going to move into that one next. Let's go into the guest that he had. If you saw by the title, he had Billie Ellish, Sexy Red, Big Sean, Dijon. I think that's how you say his name. He said Dij, but when I read it, it spelled out and sounded in my brain like Dijon, like the mustard. I don't know. But he had him too as well. So let's go into, here it is, Sexy Red. You know what I remember from the Sexy Red portion of Bieberchella? She said something about the D and the booty. That was about it. And I think she liked it. Pause. I don't remember. I also remember how she had a backtrack, the only one. And it was kind of... Actually, it kind of drew me out of the performance. Like, I couldn't really focus between when she was going on the mic and the backtrack, as compared to other performers like Justin Bieber, SZA, Giveon. I watched Giveon first. Awesome. Love him. Great singer. Makes great songs. Very unique voice. They didn't have no backtrack. She did. That's her business. I will say that I felt like the crowd knew the words. And Justin seemed like he was with it. I don't personally listen to Sexy Red at all. But that's just a personal choice. I'm not trying to hear about dirty booty hole brown and the doo-doo and the D inside of there and you scrape it. I ain't trying to hear all about that. That if she want to do that, her business. Her business. But me, I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want nothing to do with that. Okay. Billie Eilish. One less lonely girl. I'm gonna put you first. Yo. Billie Eilish didn't even sing. Right? So I'm watching Bieberchella. And they're going into One Less Lonely Girl. And I'm thinking like, wow. Nostalgia. And then I see them bringing out a girl, like putting her up there. And she's kind of like hesitating a little bit. Like, really? I had no idea, but I saw the lanyard. Afterwards when she was like kind of like not sure. And I'm like, oh, who is that? And still, as she's going up, I'm like, is that Billie Eilish? Sure is. It sure is Billie Eilish. She didn't even sing. She just was the one less lonely girl. And as you can see, like she just, like I feel like any girl would just like melt in the hands. Like, I'm the lonely girl. I'm the girl you're singing to. That's what Billie Eilish gave. Like, oh my God. I'm in front of everybody getting serenaded by the Justin Bieber. Right? Because I think even though she's the Billie Eilish, amazing. She could sing so well. I think that it reverted back to her youth where it's like, you know, before she became this amazing powerhouse musician, she was definitely listening to Justin Bieber, because who wasn't? You couldn't go anywhere without hearing a Justin Bieber. So I think that Billie Eilish was just in such like awestruck. And then I thought about that interview he had done with, I don't know, it was a therapist or something regarding Billie Eilish. And this is when he was still, I guess, you know, struggling or coming to terms with whatever happened to him and all his troubles and just trying to get back right. And he talks about like wanting to protect Billie, you know? And so when I saw this and Billie was the one less lonely girl, I thought, ooh, he really does want to protect her. And here he is, just like one less lonely girl. Maybe I'm reading into it. I don't know. But I thought that was something to be like, out of all the people, he chose Billie? Interesting. I thought she was going to sing when I heard that Billie Eilish, when he brought out Billie Eilish. I was like, what? I miss Billie singing? She ain't sing shit. And I don't blame her. She ain't get paid. She did not get paid. She ain't get paid to sing no damn Billie Eilish. So I don't blame her at all for saying probably not. Anyway, then we go into Big Sean, right? And we saw that video. I played it in the beginning. How about that speech? I haven't even gone on YouTube. I'm sure there's so many other creators that are talking about this right now. That speech right here. This is a still from that speech. He dead ass said, "You've been taken advantage of," and let the whole world know. I thought that was extremely powerful. I thought that was dope for him to give him his flowers in front of everybody. I don't think he was expecting it. Like, look at that pose. I feel like, you know, he's in a very like humble pose, like, you know, I'm with you, bro. Like, thank you. You understand? So I thought that was cool. I thought that was dope for him to do that. I like Big Sean. Very talented as well. And he performed, I think, 2 songs. Big Sean performed 2 songs. And that was dope. And he also mentioned how he's a man of faith. Again, something else that I like. You know, Big Sean, he'll straight up in his raps talk about the Most High, and I like his vibe. I feel like I share the same kind of frequency with Big Sean, regarding those kinds of sentiments. And so I really enjoyed that. And I like when he was singing the Hallelujah song. That's dope, you know. I think that more artists at that level, if they're a believer, should mention the Most High in their songs or their speeches, or at least give a shout out and a thank you to the Most High in front of the crowd, right? If they're a believer, because without the Most High, what peace do you have? Most High is in everything and every opportunity. Just a personal opinion. Next, then he brought out SZA. Now, SZA was wearing, honestly, I'm not going to talk about what she was wearing because we don't need to talk about what she was wearing. That's irrelevant. She sounded fantastic. And she only did one song. And I like their chemistry. He was very much a gentleman. He's extending his hand out, getting her on the stage. At the end, she was talking about how nervous she was. She's like, how do I leave? I'm so nervous, you know. And he took her hand, escorted her down like a gentleman. I thought that was dope. I thought their collab is very cool and very nice sounding. And that's really about it. Yo. What did y'all think about Bieberchella? I'm sure there was other artists there, but the only person people were talking about was Bieber and Sabrina Carpenter, as they should. Everybody else, y'all did a great job as well. The fact that you even got to Coachella and you've even performed, round of applause for all the artists that performed at Coachella. DDG, he popped up twice over there. Shout out to him, right? I think that something as big as that for an artist is an amazing opportunity. Even Giveon, when he was doing his set, he had to take a couple of pauses, and he even apologized to the crowd. He's like, I know you guys didn't come here to hear me talk, but I just have to take this in because the amount of people there and the fact that these people are singing the words to these artists' songs. That's a feeling that is got to be unlike any other. I know that I just put out a short where I went to the birthday party of Maria Davis, who is the godmother of hip hop. She's on Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, the skit portion where she tells him to hop on the stage and do a freestyle. I just heard your mixtape from Dame Dash. Right? That's real. And so that's Maria Davis, and I went to her birthday party at the Shrine Music Hall. There's a thing called Mad Wednesdays, and it's a showcase. We're talking labels come out there. You have Power 105, Hot 97, you have managers, you have talent, and people that are up and coming, they will also come to Mad Wednesdays from different parts of the world to perform. I don't want to say it's like a rite of passage, but it's something like that. And the very first time I ever performed live my own music was at the Shrine Music Hall on a Mad Wednesday towards the end of the showcase. And it was scary as hell. But it was an amazing feeling to receive feedback about my writing skills, about my flow, and great feedback too. I know there's this woman, right? She works the door. I think she's a manager of the place too. Been there for years. I'm talking years, right? Jay-Z in Reasonable Doubt, that came out in the 90s, right? We're in 2025. So Shrine Musical has been open since then. So they've seen a lot of acts come through there. And so as I was leaving from Shrine Musical after I performed, the woman stopped me to tell me, hey, kid, you got something different. I never heard nobody's voice like that. And the different flows that you got going. And trust me, I don't say this to everybody. Trust me, people will come to me and ask me for feedback, and I will tell them how it is. But you, kid, keep going. You got something different. And so just that little bit right there was like, wow, what? I know with time and work and effort into my craft, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whether it's, whether it's hosting, all of these different things, I know that with time and effort, because that was back in early 2024. I was still working at Amazon. In case you guys don't know, I used to work at Amazon. Delivery truck driver. I've done every job under the sun. Trust. And Amazon delivery truck driver was definitely one of the hardest. I was still working at Amazon at that time. But I was surrendering. I had already talked to the Most High in prayer. And what do I have to do? Tell me. I surrender. And so when I started receiving guidance, I started saying yes to every opportunity. An opportunity came along for me to go there and for me to perform. And so even though I was scared, I did. And that right there was like the jumping point to everything else. And since that early portion of 2024, I've only elevated since. I've done amazing things. I've been to amazing places. I've met America Ferrera. I've met Spike Lee. I've met Tracy Morgan, Cedric the Entertainer. It's blanking. Kristen Chenoweth, Darren Criss, Offset, Future. I've worked with Paramount. I've worked with Nike. I've worked with Missing People, McGee Media. I've worked with Samsung. I've worked with Walmart. I could continue on, right? Forrest Whitaker. I've met Forrest Whitaker. I always forget about him, but no disrespect to Forrest Whitaker. Sometimes I forget. The point is that when opportunity comes a-knocking, and it's something that you feel you should be doing in your heart, you gotta say yes. And even if you feel you're not ready, how do you get ready for things? How do you become a master? You become a master by doing. That's the best way, is to do. You might fail the first time, or you might need to tweak something. You might need to tweak some things, and that's okay. You go, you learn technique, you try, you fix. You do the same thing over and over again. And in the process, each time you want to continue to elevate yourself. That's progress, and that's the journey. And so, how long? It's probably been like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You guys gotta comment and let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hype the video if they're still doing that. I don't even know if YouTube might be phasing out the hyping, because I don't think a lot of people are doing it. And sometimes the hype button doesn't even appear on certain people's YouTube. So they might be phasing that out. So I don't want to say hype me up, but hype me up. Because if it's there, do so. It helps the algorithm share my content with new viewers, and we can grow the family. We can grow the channel, right? I get to do really cool things, and I have so much content. I have so much content from different places that I would love to share with y'all, because I understand that even though I've gone through so much, and the hard work that I've put in is now starting to come to fruition, I want to be able to share my experiences with y'all, right? Let y'all be a little fly on the wall in places that you may or may not be able to get to in life. But through the Kid and Jazz TV and OTD, you guys can come along for the ride. So it's 30 minutes. I hope you guys can hear me. I took this off, and I hope it's going through the feed. We still working on it. Let me know on the production value. Excuse me. I feel like back in college, because I don't know if you guys know, I have a degree in television production and radio and television production. I've studied at NYU. I studied at Arizona State University. So these kinds of things I do. And I'm on OBS right now, and I haven't been doing this in a while. But this is when I realized OBS and I started putting things together. I'm like, oh, this is like producing a live television show in the studio. And you have your board, and you have your TD and you have the person on audio, except you're doing everything. Whereas in a television studio, a huge television studio, you have one person focusing on one task. That's why sometimes I do things and it gets a little messed up. It's because when someone does this and they produce a live broadcast like this with clips and photos and music, you have a person for every single one of those jobs. You have your audio engineer, you have your technical director, you have your director, you have somebody on teleprompter. There's so many different jobs that requires one individual person to do so that everything could flow seamlessly. But I don't have that right now. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to continue. And each time it'll get better and it'll get better. You just have to not be afraid to mess up. That's one thing. I'm gonna leave soon, end the stream. That's one thing in my life that I had to work on, is not being afraid to mess up. Again, I don't want to say fail, because it's only a failure when you give up. It's only a failure when you give up. But you have to be able to not be afraid to mess up, to learn, to gain feedback, to get better. Once you're able to get over that hurdle, you will get what you want. But you gotta just try. You have to try, people. All right, so it's been 40 minutes on here. I'm trying to figure out the schedule because I have a lot of doctors. If you don't know, I'm injured. I am out right now of work on injury, and things are getting worse. I want to put positivity on me, but I'm starting to lose feeling sometimes in my hand. I don't want to cry now. Hold on. And because I bake. Hold on. Because I bake, I need my hands, right? It's a passion of mine since I was a kid. And so, starting to lose some feeling in my hand. And it gets numb. Things like that. And so I have a lot of doctor's appointments. And so the lives, they might not be as frequent. And the content, it might be a little bit, hold on, check myself. It might be a little bit more sporadic. And I want y'all to, if y'all can, just stick with me. Stick with me. I try my best to be able to create and produce, but it takes a long time for me to even excuse me. I did not come up on here to be in no tears. It takes a long time for me to film the videos because I have to take a lot of breaks because of my leg. And now with my hand, I don't know, but I put my faith in the Most High. I go to physical therapy, and I try to get better and think positive. But when things start regressing, sometimes your faith gets tested. And so I still put my faith in the Most High, and I continue to show up every day. And so if anybody's going through anything out there, trust me, I understand. So keep your head up. And if you can still walk, you still have air. And not even if you can still walk. Let me say that. If you have, breath in your lungs and you wake up, then anything is possible. And anything can happen. So, I can't believe I cried up on here. I cannot believe I didn't cry up here. But it's scary at times. I've always been a hustler. And anything I needed to do, I got it done. And it didn't matter. I'd be out all night if I had to be able to sustain And now that it's been taken away from me by somebody else, it's scary. It's so scary. And because I worked so hard to get to where I've gotten to in my field, and to become a professional in entertainment and production, it's difficult. But you see me out here creating content, doing what I love, and I hope for the best. I hope for the best, and I hope that, like I said, anybody that's going through anything, keep your head up. It will get better. It's gonna get better for all of us. All right. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment, to like, to subscribe, share it to a friend, and drop some comments. Let me know what kinds of content you guys want me to talk about. Because if not, I'm just going to talk about what I feel like, which I'm going to do anyway, but it's a community. So I would love for all of you guys to drop some input as well. Okay. Take care and many, many blessings.